That's the simple question. The answer to that is no. I didn't think it was controversial. I had no idea that it was going to be blown out of proportion the way it was. I think it's an astounding movie. I think it touches on so many things that's wrong with our society today. I think that Joaquin, if not nominated, doesn't win, will be shocking. He's an incredible actor. Todd is an astounding director, and I couldn't be happier to be a part of it. Well, he is a really nice man, a really sweet guy, and would say good morning, in the makeup trailer and talk, and, I'd hear him telling about what he did the night before. And then he'd pat me on the shoulder and go to his trailer. And from that point forward, he would put that skin on of Arthur Fleck and wouldn't take it off until the end of the day, which he'd say good night and thank you so much, it's a great day, or it's a rough day, whatever that it was. But he was lovely to me. And it was an intense shoot. This isn't like one of those things where you go, la-di-da, you're walking in knowing there's some weight to what you're doing and weight going on around you, particularly with Joaquin. It was shocking because, he's very quiet when we worked and didn't chit-chat on set. Him and Todd talked. But at the premiere, we had to do a cast photo after we had all done the red carpet, and I hadn't seen him. And I looked to my left, and he was walking on, and I went, hey, man. And he went, Brad, oh, my God. He gives me a big hug, and, it was a different guy. He'd left that behind, and he'd put the weight back on. And it was just astounding to see the transformation, I guess is what I'm saying, and who he is and what he did. I just finished working with an actor, John C. Reilly, who's friends with Joaquin. And we were shooting, and he said, Joaquin called me and asked me if he should do this role. I think this is a true story. I'm pretty sure he told me the truth. And he said no, because they were friends with Heath, and who I never knew. But he said, well, just come over to my house. And he went over, and he said he had everything laid out, from the research of brain injuries and the people that can't control their laughter to mental illness to everything. He had it all worked out. And John said, why'd you call me over here? You're doing the part. And he said it's rare because I think, chooses what he wants to do very carefully, and then has to really mulls it over a long time. And he didn't, I don't think, with this role. I think he jumped in with both feet. And as you can see in his performance, it's just pure. The FBI or somebody, the NSA, was in the dark web and heard someone mention something about that, which is what caused, I think, the whole stir. My response to it is similar to something I heard Todd say, which is, I did the replacements of Keanu Reeves, and he's one of the greatest guys on earth. He really is a good man. I adore the guy. And I was actually on set with him. I visited him here in New York when he was shooting the first John Wick. And I'm like, well, Keanu kills 20 guys in 5 minutes. Then that's not this movie. Obviously, we're dealing in this film with a whole other aspect of why people walk into a movie theater like they did in Colorado and shoot, a lot of people and kill a lot of people. And it's tragic, but that's mental illness. And I think that's what scared people. And what I think Todd did, and I've not spoken to him about this, when I look at the film, and I've seen it twice. I went the other night here with some friends of mine that didn't know I was in the movie, which was funny. But what I think Todd did, back to that, is which I think is genius, is you take a comic book character, which is what I always respond to when people say that. I say it's a comic book. But what he's done is take a comic book character and taken him out of the comic. And so let's put him in the real world. And what would make a man become that in the real world, which is what I think you have in this film. The negative and the positive responses, critically and personally, because I've had friends that haven't enjoyed the film, is good. Because I think it is disturbing on a certain level, and it does make you think, and it does, I don't want to give anything away, but how my character ends. But I was actually kind of going, yeah, anarchy, it's kind of cool. But that's how good the film is. Art's not supposed to be everything's wonderful. It's supposed to challenge you and make you think, like a good comedian. Dave Chappelle's most recent thing he did on Netflix blew my mind. I mean, some of the stuff he said was very controversial, but it was funny. That's what comedy's supposed to do, is make us look at what's going on in the world and how do we reflect on it. That's what this movie does, I think. And I think Todd was, genius. I mean, what he accomplished. And Joaquin as well. And everybody in the cast. I mean, Zazie, everybody. And the interesting thing is, like, when I said to Joaquin, at the after party of the premiere, I was like, oh, I'll see you at the Oscars, man. And he's like, no, don't. And I was like, it's okay. But it's an amazing. He goes, Brett, we shot like 2 or 3 movies, because we did. The scene in the bathroom, we shot in the theater. We shot it different ways and different places and different dialogue, trying to find that, whether it's. And I asked Todd, was that not good? He goes, no, it's great. He goes, but I need options in terms of, I don't know how dark this is going to be. Maybe we might need a lighter moment here. So that was, just so he had options as a director. He knew it's a very dark film and that he might need moments that weren't quite as intense. So I'm so glad he used the scene in the bathroom. Because the other scenes were good, and he was really funny. But I think that it required that based on the relationship that his character and my character have. I think that was imperative. To also, for instance, to take Thomas Wayne out of a comic book and put him in the real world and make him the most powerful man in Gotham and the richest man in Gotham and who's running for mayor and in politics. And those men, no matter who they are, whether it's Clinton or the current guy, who I'm not a big fan of, that what did they have to do to get there? And if you really look at that, what the success of a man like that, where are the bodies buried? And they all have them. And I'm not necessarily saying murder, but things that they may have done that were maybe not so nice, or, how do you climb that ladder? How do you get to the top of the pyramid and stay there? So that's what I think is interesting.